Hello you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be talking about TikTok houses because they're making a comeback. If you don't know, a TikTok house normally consists of loads of TikTokers getting together, renting a huge mansion, and then making sort of odd content together, like boosting each other's platforms. And what normally happens when one blows up, a lot of other ones spawn after this, and they often get into beef with each other, which we're going to discuss in this video how a couple have. And later on in this video, we're also going to look at how the UK have spawned their own version of these houses, which is so sad to see. So let's just get into it. The first house I want to cover is called the Bop House. Now, I've already covered this house in a separate video if you want to watch it after this one. It's basically a house consisting of many young OF girls coming together to promote each other's OFs to young children. One of the creepiest content houses I've ever seen like come to life. They're making upwards of £10 million a month all together, which is just crazy money for like 18, 19, 20-year-olds to be making doing anything. Like £10 million a month. Are you joking me? How are that many people horny? Not just horny, but like, you know, weird because they're young. Oh, bloody hell. Now, when I covered the Bop House, I highlighted many creepy things and many creepy tactics they do to appeal to young children and then like recruit young children to the TikTok, and then they promote their OF through the TikTok. The pipeline is really creepy. However, they've took it one step further lately, as they have now recruited a 17-year-old to the house. This just seems like insanely creepy even watching this as a TikTok. Like, why are you inviting a 17-year-old to a house where you sell pictures of your body? What are we doing here? Has everyone lost their mind? Do rules not apply anymore? Like, has everyone just got no dignity? Because this isn't even dignity. This is like actual morals. What are you trying to do here? Why are you trying to like somebody who is that age? Can kids not just be kids? I sound like a grandparent at like a table at Christmas where they're like, oh, back in the old days, but please, in this scenario, can we bring back at least just like 10 years ago where we didn't do this? Now, obviously they've done this because they know the reaction they're going to get. Like, they feed off basically having more engagement, but surely, you know, there's a line that you just don't cross when it comes to trying to get engagement, and this is one of them. Like, the digital footprint of this is going to be out there forever. Well, we're not watching any more of that, are we? Because, you know, we're genuinely going to get locked up. I'm facing that way. Okay, and I wherever the camera is, I'll turn around, guys. Okay, I'm going to click off this. This is terrible. Like, this woman here is in the Bop House and makes millions of pounds a month, and she is kind of, you know, strategically trying to sexualize this 17-year-old to an audience of people that actively buy subscriptions to these OFs. How bad can you actually get? I remember when Team 10 like first made their house and people like got fuming at them because they were like having parties late and doing stuff like that. I wish they were doing some of the stuff Team 10 were doing. Like, this is just so much worse. At least most of their stuff was just cringe and releasing It's Everyday Bro. Like, when they released It's Everyday Bro, genuinely, I was like, the internet can't get worse than this. How wrong was I? Imagine saying this is what TikTok houses would end up like. I also think it has a negative effect on like kids' brains because they're gonna watch this content and that's gonna be normalized that, you know, you can do this content at basically any age, because that's what they're inferring by getting a 17-year-old in here. And I just don't feel like you should promote that message to children. Like, when they become adults and they want to do that, fair play, do what you want, but that shouldn't be like kind of normalized to them from a young age when they're so impressionable. Also for boys, like, how is that shifting boys' minds to look at these girls? It's just, oh, the ripple effect of this is so massive, and that's why I continue to cover it, because I'm trying to get a separate message out there. The worst part about this specific house is that 17-year-old is called Piper, and her mother actually encouraged her to go to this house. Imagine your mom going, yeah, go on, you'll enjoy it. You'll have a great time. Go on, shake your butt. I know you're only 17. It's fine. Mothers are meant to protect the children. What happened to that? Remember them days? They were good days. However, I don't really think we can trust the mother of this 17-year-old, because I found an article which basically says YouTube mom's child abuse scandal ends in 1.85 million settlement. Apparently, she has 11 child exploitation cases against her. So the pipeline of why this 17-year-old would go to this house kind of makes sense now, because in her head said from a young child, it's going to be normalized that this is okay, which is just horrific to say. And since this piper has been to the Bop House, like, people have posted photos. I don't know where this is from, but it looks like you can, like, pay for I guess it's like semi-naked photos of her. Like, this is a 17-year-old. She's 17. What are we doing? This is illegal. Surely this is illegal in America. You can't sell photos of yourself. You can't, like, I'm genuinely losing my mind. And unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be something that is going to continue to happen more and more now, because you're seeing more and more people start this from a younger age, which is just so concerning. That unless there's more voices against it, like, how it's literally just going to be like a snowball. It's going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. The Bop House specifically, I feel like, is having a really negative impact on kids' minds. Like, I've seen TikToks where kids will rate the attractiveness of each Bop House member. Like, what are you saying? Never heard of her. Pretty, but has kind of masculine features. What do you mean? Like, that's such a harsh thing to say. Like, why is a child, or someone that I think is a child, because who else would post this, thinking about this? Like, why are they judging other people at this age and saying they have masculine figures and rating them out of 10? It's just weird and it's so sad. They shouldn't be thinking about things like this at their age. She said somebody kind of has blush blindness. What does that even mean? Blush blindness? What does that mean? A term used to describe when someone has become so accustomed to wearing blush that they can't tell how much is too much. Like, in my opinion, you know, someone that's pretty young shouldn't have to worry about stuff like that. Like, why are you worrying about it on someone else's face? You know, like, this is the impact these kind of people are having on kids, and it's just so sad. Now, I mentioned in my full video on the Bop House how they spawned, like, another house called the Bruz House, which is basically, like, the male equivalent of their house, and they're in beef with each other. And because of this beef, it's actually blew them both up to where they're getting, like, record amount of numbers. And because of this, loads of other content houses have spawned, and we're gonna take a look at them, because some of them are even more disturbing than the Bop House. There's one called the Alt Bop House, which is basically the same structure as the Bop House. They're selling their OF. However, as the name of the house goes, they're doing this, but they're just alt people. And they're coming under a load of fire because apparently they're not real alt people. So let's take a look at some of their videos. Not that dance! Sorry, what is this dance? What is this? Like, what is the... By the way, and slayed that though, didn't I? Alright, sign us up. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm okay, I'm joking. Why is this like the dance that you do once you join a house? It seems like some sort of cult to me. I'm kind of getting creeped out by this. Can you imagine in like 100 years when we're all dead, and, like, you know, the kids of then are studying these TikToks and trying to understand the culture at this time? They're gonna think we were a bunch of idiots. Why were we engaging with this content? Bro, what is alt about Spider-Man? Is Spider-Man alt? To be fair, when he put on that black suit, I was like, wow, in his goth era. Come on, Peter. I know I'm not the overriding opinion on who is alt and who is not alt, etc. Like, my opinion really has no weight. But I wouldn't look at her and think that she is alt in any sort of way. So, like, what qualifies you to get into this house? Like, she looks like she could belong in the Bop House is what I'm trying to say. Do you just have to have dark hair or like dyed hair? Does that make you qualify for the alt house? If anyone has black hair or have dyed their hair recently, audition. Okay, you might have a chance. I just don't think this is an alt house. How is this an alt? Loads of people have commented saying it's a poser house, which apparently means like they're posing as alt to kind of appear to be alt when they're not. This is just such an odd one. Like, why are we making specific niches of like OF houses now? This is just kind of, this could get into dangerous territory. Why are they always Spider-Man? Don't do this to Spider-Man. Tom Holland didn't deserve this. Tobey Maguire didn't deserve this. And most of all, Andrew Garfield didn't deserve this. Hasn't he been through enough? Gwen Stacy would never. She would never do this. Obviously, them like dressing up like this, you know, you're very much kind of trying to target a specific audience. And it's just a little bit odd in my opinion. They're all just Spider-Man. What is alt about this? That's mint. That's mint. I'll post that. Like, love that part of Spider-Man. Like, that was the best part, actually, of No Way Home. And all of the Spideys just kind of went like this and then just licked their lips. Honestly, Probably me favourite part of any movie franchise ever. Alt, and it's just eyeliner and dyed. Everyone's just saying they're not alt. For the alt people out there, you know, you have a much better perspective on what is alt or not. Would you class this as alt? Now, I've tried to do a little bit of research to kind of get a better perspective on how the alt community feels about this kind of content in general. Not just this content, but like the alt side of it, just because I was interested why they're getting so many negative comments specifically about being alt. And I found this interesting thread on Reddit where this person basically said, I hate how being an alt woman is so sexualized. I know as women most things we do are regardless. Being an alt woman, I find this behaviour from men has escalated dramatically, as if just because I dress and do my makeup in a different style, it automatically says something about my sexuality. A lot of guys seek to think that being alt equals being freaky. I've had so many comments about being fatherless, how I must be freaky or be into a lot of stuff. It's so infuriating. I just want to be able to dress without men thinking it's for them. Now, that is so interesting because this had so many comments agreeing with this. Like, you know, me just wearing what I'm wearing. Imagine if this was classed as something and then like everyone was like kind of sexualizing this, but this is just what I want to wear and this is what I feel comfortable in my own skin wearing. Like, that must be so weird. And I kind of understand why you'd be really angry at these people like kind of sexualizing this, because it only does bad things for literally, it's not even like because that's how you dress normally. So they're kind of making people sexualize you even though they don't know you. It's so like complex, but that is definitely a pipeline. Like, a lot of guys will look at people who dress alt and think that they're more freaky because of it, when in reality that's just kind of what makes them people more comfortable. And they're very much playing into this. They're very much playing into the fact that their alt makes them kind of like, you know, than the bop house. It's just very strange, and I think that's why they're getting no support from alt people. Like, I feel like when they made this account they thought that alt people would get behind them, but in reality it's done the complete opposite. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because obviously I don't have the best perspective on it, but I just found it really interesting because it's almost as if they're kind of using it as a costume to get more sales to their OF, which is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit off. And you know what, they might actually dress that way and that's completely fine if that's how they feel comfortable, but it's just the fact they're heavily leading into the alt bit that kind of like throws us the wrong way a little bit. Now, if you thought that house was a little bit odd, the UK have actually made their own version of the alt bop house for some reason. Why do we always need to get involved? Why can't we leave it to the Americans? This is called the Chop House. Now, I don't really know what Chop stands for. Please, if anyone in the comments knows, let me know. I hate how this song is the metric for success with TikTok houses. Like, what is this song? Who made this song? We need to murder them. We need to murder them. And then I can copyright the song and then strike down all of these videos because I can't get it out my head. And what does chop mean? You can tell this house has like has a little bit of a smaller budget. The announcements aren't as good. Like, I remember with the wave house that like come out of a helicopter or something. They're just putting a bit of paper in front of them being like, there she is, right? Like this one. There you go. Got another one. Yeah, get the bed sheet. Oh, see, right, like, I mean, we already knew someone was there, right? See, there's not much thought into this one. I'm not a fan of this one. This one just seems like they've just done this on a whim. Like, they weren't busy this day. They thought, f it, should we try it? Right, she's got the brat on, so obviously she's alt. Right, Charlie XCX, stand with my girlies on that one. 450, banger. Is it 350? 350, banger. Is it 450 or 350? 365, banger. I don't even get this one. What? Op house. Chop house. This one's so low budget, genuinely. Like, who is we need a better marketing team here. We need like actual ideas here. What are we doing? The only thing we can afford in this house, paper. Reveals for this are so funny. What was this one? Why is it like they've just signed someone on like FIFA or something? Here's your shirt. Right, number 9, the UK alt bop house. Sorry, the chop house. There you go. Great season ahead. Looking forward to it. Well done, mate. Give her a t-shirt. This is so funny. I wonder if there's people, like, you know, engaging with this content going, oh my god, I can't wait for the new Chop House video to drop. The last reveal was so sick. 6 p.m. every day. Catch me there at 5:59. I'm going to be early. First comment. Genuinely, I need to be first on every single video they post. I'm going to comment first. That's going to be my goal of the next week. What is the Chop House? What does it mean? Okay, I need to know. Nobody seems to know. What is it? I think it's people who have chopped it off, that is. This is the type of people you're attracting.
Lollipop? Give me...
I don't know who's worse, the Chop House or the old Bop House. I think they should fight to the death. And whoever has the most people left, that's the one that takes the reign of being the true alt house. It is interesting though, because obviously the alt house marketed themselves as being alt, and then they got so much hate for it, whereas this house haven't marketed themselves as being alt, but they're appearing to be alt and they get no hate for it. It's so strange how like just one distinction kind of changes everything.
Frick. This is going to be a problem, isn't it?
No. Wait, why is this bringing us back to like school? I did a video talking about my experience on this. Is not good. Please don't say it's what I think it is. Wait, is... Oh, this is the most disturbing one yet, if that actually is what it is. Is it Chop? Because, like... I'm not even overreacting here. That is actually grim. If that's why they've called it that. Is it because of, you know, Tom? Genuinely. I'm actually gobsmacked if that's the... I'm literally just coming off, like, just what I've seen here and what they're alluding to. They haven't confirmed this, but if it is, I really hope that is not. I actually have no words. Oh my god. Why? Why would you build a house around that? Okay, I feel like we need to move on from this house. Chop House... You have not got my vote to continue. Stop this at once. Stop this nonsense. I'm phoning the landlord. He's getting you evicted. Okay, moving on. The next one we have labelled themselves the new Hype House. I feel like the original Hype House was just terrible. Why would you want to recreate that? After watching that documentary they did, was it on Netflix? I was like, this seems like the worst thing ever. Why would anybody want to support this? Right, these are actual children. These are actual children. Sorry, no. Cut the cameras. Go back to school. Do your GCSEs. None of this shite. Okay, where are the parents? The parents don't exist anymore. That is a child. That is a child. That's also a child. That's also a child. Now, I don't know. I don't think this one is specifically an OF house, which is... so good because of the ages of these people. But it's still a little bit sad that these people, you know, like they're so young and like they're building their entire lives off being huge on social media. It's still a little bit sad. I mean, they look like they're having more fun than the other ones. Genuinely, like, she is not finished of Mice and Men yet. I do not believe that. She's still on Inspector Calls, right? 16. And a push 70. I think this one seems like it's more like a branded house. I think it's a company called the Pink Palm Puff, which is that a big clothing company, I believe. I think they've ploughed a lot of money into making the new Hype House. And I feel like this is going to be like a new strand of content that is definitely going to be blowing up in 2025. It seems like for some reason content houses are the way brands can kind of further their awareness rather than just sponsoring like individual creators. Like you see a lot of brands doing like creator trips. And it's like an achievement for influencers to get on these creator trips. I feel like that's the way it's going in terms of promotion. For me, I just feel like I couldn't think of anything worse. But I don't know if it's because I'm just not like I don't really mix with many influencers. I know I'm getting off topic here, but like YouTube asked if I wanted to go to the Brit Awards and like mix with like loads of YouTubers. And I was like, genuinely, like, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. But I couldn't think of anything worse. Like, I'd rather just watch it on the telly with some Doritos and just sit in me, like, pajamas. Like, does that make me bad? But I just couldn't think of anything worse, like, being around, like, in, like, a whole bunch of influencers who I don't really want to speak to. Does that make me a bad person? I just think the only reason you're there is because, like, these other people have followers. But I just don't care. Like, I don't care if you've got 1 million followers. If you're a prick, you're a prick. You know what I mean? I'd rather just spend it with people I actually like and enjoy it with people I actually like. I found this video where the leader of the Glow House was talking about how everybody is like obsessed with them.
I know you guys have so many questions, so I'm just gonna go ahead and answer as many as I can without spoiling too much.
I mean, you're talking as if you've got thousands of questions here, love, and you're not gonna be able to get through with them. There's 8 comments here, right, and I'll read a couple of them out. Oh, gee! Don't know how long she's going to spend on that question. Just a couple of smiley faces. There's not a single question here. Not a single question, love.
Who's gonna be in the glow house? I haven't released who's exactly going to be in the glow house. The girls are allowed to talk about it. I kind of wanted to like release who is going, like one person per week, until the time that we all get together and the glow house is created. People who are going, if they want to talk about it, they're allowed to talk about it. I'm not gonna like make anyone like be quiet or anything. Another number one asked question is, what is the glow house? Of course the glow house is like a content house, but it's going to be a lot more than that.
Does anybody care? That's harsh. That's hot. I'm being a prick there. Sorry. I'm being a bit of a prick. It's just not for me. I don't need to be a prick about it. It's just not for me. But it just doesn't seem like it's for anyone. It's just, this is a thing that influencers do, where they're like, everyone's been asking, and it's like, no one's really been asking. It's like another thing. It's like where people will be like, I've got an announcement and I'm gonna announce it next Saturday. It's like, why are you doing an announcement for an announcement? Just tell us now. So I'm ranting at this one. Nothing personal, love. I just think like, these people are acting as if everyone cares. Like, just release all the members at once. We don't need, like, weekly members. I just want the content here so I can review it. Now, obviously, that house was, like, one of the youngest houses that we've seen, but I've seen an even younger house from the UK called the Vibe House. The Vibe House. We're scraping the barrel with names now. We're just calling them anything. Yeah, honestly, we don't even pay our bills with money. We just pay them with vibes. That's all the landlord expects.
They say shoot.
I fear this would have been me at like 17 if TikTok was a thing. Could you imagine me just like on TikTok like... For some reason I can imagine me, the little loner I was, trying to get some kind of attention. Oh my god, people are posting their auditions for the Vibe House. We need to see this.
Really dumb enough to think I'd tell you anything, you dumb dirty hoe. I wouldn't tell you what color socks I got on.
This person doesn't look like he came out of a womb. This person looks like he spawned straight from SoundCloud. Just like, I don't know what he'd be called, like Lil Verify. I'd just be sitting around my house swearing all day. Like, what is this? They're not even in the same house. They're doing it from, like, their own houses. What is this, like a long distance content house? We're all just doing it from our own houses and pretending it's the same house. Parents, right? If your child goes, oh, I'm going out. You're like, where are you going? I'm just going to the new content house. Stop them, because they could be on the way to the Vibe House and they'll never be the same since. Once Lil Verified starts speaking of them, they'll change forever. I don't even want to watch these because they're just the previews. Look how young these people are. These are like actual children. Like, that is a child. Sir, do your homework. Stop auditioning for the Vibe House. Do the parents know that these children are auditioning to live in a random house where they'll have random, like a random production crew come in and film videos of them? Like, they'd need a consent form from their parents because of their age. This video has just genuinely disturbed me. Guys, if you want to see me review the entirety of the Bop House and you want to see how weird that house actually is, click this video right here. Or if you want a break from TikTok content houses, I wouldn't blame you. Watch another video from us right here. I will see you in the next one, donuts.
Kirkham, baby.